No matter how you look at it, the table is now set.
It's art time with Mr. Mayberry. Let's get busy.
Happy Thanksgiving. POV, or point of view, is something that artists have to think about when they make a picture. From what angle or direction do they want their audience to see the subject matter? Today we're going to explore two different views, top and side, as we draw a place setting. So let's get started. It's time to make some art. Okay, for the drawing today I'm using a 12 by 18 inch piece of paper. I like a larger piece for this project because it gives us more room to put our drawing on the paper. You can use a smaller size if you'd like, that's fine. I'm also going to be using a pencil today. You could draw this with crayon or marker if you'd like, but I think pencil would be good to start with. As I figure out where things should go, then I can make changes if I need to. Now, like I said, we're using POV, or point of view, and we're looking at a place setting we're going to start off with the top view, so we're looking down at the table from above. Now, this is going to be our placemat, this paper, so we don't have to draw the placemat. We'll just go ahead and decorate this paper to make it look like a placemat when we get done with what we're drawing, the things that we're drawing on it. So next, let's think about the plate. Now, if you look at the plate from the top view, it's going to look like a circle. Actually, this plate looks like a circle within a circle. So let's start off by drawing the plate. So on our paper, I don't want you to trace one. I just want you to draw it freehand. But we're going to draw a circle for our plate. And then I'm going to go back and make another circle inside of the circle. Okay, and so that's our plate. If you get a chance ever to set the table, I'm going to show you today how you should set the table, and then you might be able to use that on Thanksgiving or at some other time when you're asked to set the table. Okay, so first thing we do is we put down the placemat, and then we put the plate right in the center of the placemat. Then let's put our cup on the table. Now, a cup from the side will look like this, but from the top it looks like a circle. So we're going to put the cup right up here on the upper right hand side of the plate. That's where it should go. And so let's draw that there. Again, let's just draw it freehand. You don't have to trace one. Right about there. Okay, that's our cup. Next, let's put a bowl. Now this might be for salad, or it could be for ice cream, or some other kind of dish that you are being served at the meal. From the side it will look like this, and we'll look at that in just a minute. But today, right now, we're looking at the top view. So from the top, it looks like a circle. Lots of circles today from the top view. Okay, so right there, it's bigger than the cup, but smaller than the plate. And that goes to the upper left of our placemat, left side of the plate, up in the upper left side of the placemat. Okay, next you would put down a napkin. Now when you have napkins at a meal, sometimes they're folded like a rectangle, and sometimes they are folded like a triangle. So you could do either one. Usually if you have a square, you might fold it like a triangle. If it's a square, it could also be a rectangle, or if some napkins are already rectangles, like if you have cloth napkins, sometimes they're folded either way, actually, with their cloth. So you can decide which way you want yours to be, and that goes to the right of the plate. I'm going to draw a triangle for mine. So I'm going to start off with a straight up and down line, a vertical line, and then make it go off to the side as a triangle. Okay, now it's time to set out the silverware. And the silverware looks like the shape of what it is when it's laying down on from a top view. But on the first thing we do, on the right side, we put in the knife, and I'm going to put the blade. The blade is going to be towards the plate. So when I grab that, then I'm not grabbing the blade, I'm grabbing the handle. So the blade should be towards the plate. So that's what I'm going to draw first. Is the blade sticking out towards the plate. It's on the napkin. And then the backside of the knife is pretty well straight. Okay, and you could even make little teeth or ridges along this edge of the knife if you'd like. Okay, so there's our knife. And next to the knife is the spoon. So I'm going to draw an oval shape up here. It goes up above this napkin a little bit. And then the handle of the spoon coming down almost as long as the knife. So that's the spoon, like you're looking down at the spoon. Okay, and then on the far side of the plate will be the fork. Okay, and from above it looks like what we think of as a fork. We'll have the prongs up at the top, and then the handle of the fork going down. Okay, now, at a fancy dinner, if you were at a fancy dinner, you might have more forks and more spoons. You might have a soup spoon, you might have a salad fork. If you had those things set at your table, the ones you use first will always be on the outside, and you work your way in as you go through the meal. And so the soup spoon would be over here to the side, or a salad fork would be over here on the left side, on the outside. Alright, so this is our place setting. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase extra lines here where the spoon is overlapping the napkin and where the handle of the knife is overlapping the napkin. Okay, and then let's put on this paper, on this side of the paper, we're going to put top view. Okay, and then you can add whatever food that you'd like to this, and also decorate the placemat. But now, what we're going to do next, though, is we're going to look at all of these items, all of these, the silverware and plates, from a different viewpoint. We're going to look at it from the side. So the next thing I want to do is go ahead and turn our paper over to the back. Okay, now I have my paper turned on the back side. I'm going to start off by drawing a line down the middle. And this is for the tabletop. Because we're looking, remember now, from a side view, so we're going to be looking at what things look like if you were looking directly at them from the side. And so let's start off by putting the placemat. If you had the placemat on your table, it's going to look flat from the side. It's going to look, it may come up off the table just a little bit, but not a lot. And so this line here is going to represent our tablecloth. Okay, then sitting on top of the, actually not the tablecloth, this line here represents the placemat on top of the table. Okay, next on top of the placemat, we're going to put our plate. Now we drew a plate from the top view. From the side view, it has a different look to it. Okay, there's the width of the plate, but then there's also this edge here that makes a circle. If you look at it from the top, it actually is like a thin line across the top of the plate. So to draw the plate right here in the center, it might look something like this. Now, I'm looking at all these pieces today, and I'm showing you what they look like. It's something that you could do if you have, this is all plastic, so it's not going to break. If you have something plastic, or if you have permission to use plates that you have at home, you might be able to look at them from a side view, but make sure you get permission first. I wouldn't want anything to happen to your good plates. So anyway, we're looking at it from the side, so it looks something like this. Next, let's do the cup from the side. And we saw this earlier, but a cup from the side looks kind of like a rectangle. It may be wider at the top and narrower at the bottom, but basically it's a rectangle shape. Now I'm going to draw it over here to the right of the plate. And I'm going to make mine like this one, as far as it's going to be narrower at the bottom and then wider at the top. And just straight line across from this angle, it just looks like a straight line across. We wouldn't see the opening at the top. Okay, so that's the cup. And now next is the bowl. And the bowl from the side, I kind of curve, this bowl kind of curves on the sides and is flat on the top and the bottom. Okay, I'm going to make my bowl kind of back here behind the plate, and so it's going to be up higher than the plate, but it's not as tall as the cup. If you look at that, let's look at those side by side. So it's taller than the plate, but it's not as tall as the cup. Okay, and so that's what I'm going to be drawing here. This is how far it comes up off of the placemat, and then the sides will curve around like that. Okay, so there's my bowl and my cup. Alright, and then now the napkin from the side. Now, just like the placemat, the napkin from the end or the side is going to look like a line, basically, just a little bit thicker than a line. Whether it's a rectangle or a triangle. From the end, it still looks like a line. Now, the triangle looks a little bit wider than the rectangle from the edge. So what I'm going to do is draw right here beside the plate. This is going to be the napkin. And since I used a triangle before, I'm going to make this one a little bit wider. And so that represents the napkin right there. Okay, and then on top of the napkin will be the silverware. And we start, remember, the knife is the first one. Knife goes towards the plate, is closest to the plate. Now from the top it looked like what we think of as a knife, but from the end, or the side view, it just looks like, you just see basically the end here. It looks like a skinny kind of an oval. So that's what I'm going to draw right here. This is my knife from the end. Next I'm going to draw the spoon on the outside of that. It looks a little bit different. It has the end kind of like the knife here, but then it also has the bowl part of the spoon that sticks out a little bit past this end, the handle on either side. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make, you could do either way. You could start with the handle or start with the bowl. I think I'll start with the bowl part and just make a wider oval. And then inside of that, I'm going to put the handle part, which will be a smaller oval. So this is what it looks like from the end. Okay, one more piece of silverware, and that's going to be the fork. And from the top, of course, it looks like what we think of as a fork, but it does a similar thing as the spoon, where you see the end of the handle is a little oval, and then you kind of see the tines of the fork, or the prongs of the fork, sticking up just a little bit. It's wider here, and they stick up just a little. So I'm going to try to imitate that on here. Now that's something else you might, if you have silverware, something else you might do, or plastic silverware that you can use. You might ask about that. You might look at it for yourself and try to draw what you see. But this is what I see when I look at it, is that these ends are sticking up, something like that, and then the handle is right about here, and it's like a flat oval. So that's what I get. Okay, then I can add color, and then you can also add food, what it would look like from the side view. But the main thing we were looking at today was the place setting and what it looks like from both the top view and the side view. Let's put the side view right here. So now you can go back and add things to it, color it in, take your time, finish it nicely. Don't take a drawing that we spent a lot of time on, working hard on, and making it look nice. Don't mess up that drawing in just a few seconds of sloppy coloring. So take your time and finish off this drawing, and the other side as well. Finish them off nicely. So this is our project for today, a POV place setting. To sharpen your art skills, you might draw other objects from top and side view. Thanks for coming to art class, and I'll see you next time.
See you later. Hi, bye.
Can I have some more, please?